So, Huell's Jewels, we got a little cue up there? What do you got, Bryan? Yeah, cook it up, baby.
Ironically,
I love driving through trees. A ceiling filled with baseball hats. Oh boy, here's the place to get socks. Get ready for an adventure.
It's time to go digging for Huell's Jewels
Carolla's excited.
on the Adam Carolla Show.
And for those of you who are new to the podcast, I've been watching Huell for about 25 years. He's a fixture here in Southern California. He's on the KCD or PBS or whatever the station is. He's on the freebie station out here. And this is what happens when you do not require performance. I mean, you don't need ratings. You don't need numbers. No one calls Huell and it shows a graph. Hey, California's gold is bottomed out. You know?
he's a poster boy for meritocracy.
Right. And he just would go out. And so because he didn't have to get any advertising, any ratings, any sponsorship, anything like that. Any viewers, he acted accordingly. And as I always said, the only thing that ever hits the editing room floor is the feet of the editor.
Can you think of, in the pre-reality show era, is there a more unlikely celebrity than Huell Hauser?
No. And he was a big celebrity when Donna Dixon was a big celebrity, at least to me. At least to me. Come on, marry
Debbie
Dan Aykroyd.
Dudeson's cousin.
His first show was called Bay Area Back Roads.
Oh, really?
Up in San Francisco, because I got into him in the mid-'80s. Yeah, ironically.
Sounds like porn.
When I saw him go to the cafe and talk
the
Baghdad Cafe, first he talked to an old-timer about gravel for a long time. And I remember that one. And no one's ever clearly mic'd. But then when he went and talked to the guy from the Baghdad Cafe about Kirk Douglas or whoever he was talking about.
Burt Lancaster. Burt Lancaster.
That was the greatest moment in comedic television history for me because it could not be recreated. A group of Harvard grads couldn't get together. Conan's writing staff could not come up with the part where he got on the phone with the owner and talked to him about the painting of Burt Lancaster, and there was no story, and the owner wasn't mic'd up, and it was a one-sided affair where it was just
like 20 minutes of build-up. And then nothing. As if at the end of Jaws, as the boat started to sink, the shark just swam away underwater.
Bored. He got bored.
He's gone.
Someone else was chumming. Do you have that, Mike? We can dig it up. This is him at the Baghdad Cafe, which is, I don't know, outside of Barstow or something. It's halfway to Vegas or outside of, like, Ukaipa. Here he is. We'll figure it out.
We need to get this interview going here.
Okay. I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye.
This is not the raw feed.
He's interviewing the guys on the phone.
All right, bye. This is where they made the movie Baghdad Cafe back in, what was it, 87? Yeah. And I think in 89 he took an award over in France. And
called Cannes, Hillbilly.
Kind of like keep it open for the tourists and like.
Because I read on the tour here that it said they still make a lot of movies. They still shoot here a lot. Commercials?
A lot of that, and photo shoots and all kinds of stuff.
Is it just because of the famous name or the atmosphere of the place? Or
I think it's the atmosphere. We got really...
here he is on the phone with the owner.
Is that picture in there of Burt Lancaster? Why is there, let's stand in here, let me get this and I'll relay it to our viewers.
Great
Why
timing.
Is there a portrait of Burt Lancaster in here on the wall of the Baghdad Cafe? Oh, you just bought it. He's never actually been here.
It's the greatest.
Burt Lancaster's never been here.
Okay, perfect.
Giant build and then nothing.
Now, most people would have went, well, we can't use that, obviously. I walked in the other room and we came up Snake Eyes with her. Yeah, no, you can't. It's impossible to use that segment because the guy didn't, there was no story. Yeah. But no, that's
as if at the end of King Kong, the pilots all got on the, if we wait him out, he'll probably just climb down.
Yeah, he'll get tired eventually.
Eventually, he's going to just climb down.
Yeah, he'll get hungry.
By the way, just a sidebar before we go into Huell's Jewels. King Kong, I realized this the other day. They bring him back from the jungle. Huge theater. Carl Denham presents Kong, the eighth wonder of the world. They go in. The audience is full. The curtain rises. There's Kong on stage. They take photos. He flips out. He breaks his chains and runs amok.
Right.
Had he not broken his chains, what was the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
They open with the finale. Here's the big
Right.
and now Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
Also, ever since the King Kong, the original one, ever since the flash cubes was used to scare people or turn people, like it was always all you needed was the POV of whoever was getting the pictures taken, whether it was a guy who was coming undone or an animal that was coming on. Just 3 or 4, possibly in slow motion shots of the flash cubes going off to know now this was going to trigger following sequence.
In Rear Window, he actually uses flash cubes to stop a murderer from strangling him. You don't walk 7 feet. It takes about 2 seconds.
So later on, by the way, at the Baghdad Cafe, he went to the post office, but it was closed. There was that. And so he was lucky enough to find the old timer who collected rocks.
Right.
Not valuable rocks, just rocks.
And for those of you who don't know, you also have to imagine as you hear this is a 6'2" guy, 6'4",
right,
built,
sure,
skin tight polo shirt tucked into chinos
and desert boots.
Pleated chinos.
Like, before he opens his mouth, you think, here comes a drill instructor. And then he opens his mouth, and it's that.
If you have. I don't know if you have the old guys talking. The old guy with gravel, but that guy cracks me up.
I like rocks. I collect all sorts of rocks.
Yeah. And it's not like what kind of rocks do you have? Well, we have geodes and crystals. No, we have big rocks and small rocks.
Big rocks and small rocks. Those are 2 kinds of rock. I can't imagine that there could be a third.
I keep them in soup cans, Huell.
That's soup. Now, those cans used to contain soup. Now they contain rocks.
I can't eat solid food.
Because you're old, and soon you're going to know whether or not God is real. That's amazing.
If you lick them, they turn a different color.
That is true of many things.
My wife passed
and consistency
many years ago, but I have never had the heart to bury her. Yeah, he's walked.
But that is an amazing wind chime.
About
all these rocks.
My God, look at this guy. Oh, hold on. Just go back and listen to the oldest sound a man has ever made.
Here's a guy that has gone back to birth weight.
Oh, all right. Just listen.
Tell me about all these rocks.
Yeah, hello?
It's rocks that I picked up over a period of years.
It's not Mike.
Mike.
That's the other good part about it. They're never Mike.
He's like
look.
300 years old.
For those of you who don't see, he looks just like the zombie that almost killed the kid in the season finale of The Walking
coffee
Dead.
Cans full of rocks.
Ichabod Crane
here.
would be like, have a
You've
fucking
got
power
little
bar,
rocks,
Pops,
big
would you?
rocks.
Let's go. You ever heard of
Look
something
at
called
this
Insure?
He makes
What
Bin
is
Laden
this?
look
He
fat.
really does look
Yeah.
like he could go right into The Walking Dead, and they were
Yes.
just like, I just put a little green on him, but he's fine.
I don't know. Like if I was like the director, I'd be like, I don't know.
I'd be like, oh, you came in makeup already.
I know zombies are green, but I don't know. Let's not put our foot through a Picasso.
Yeah, I think this is it.
This is good. He collects rocks.
I imagine that is the noise of your soul leaving your body.
Now, here's what I don't understand about our laws, by the way. If you backed over this guy in your pickup truck when you'd had a couple of pops, you'd get like vehicular manslaughter or something. Versus killing like a Sports Illustrated model.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I think you could go over there and take apart this guy with a machete and still only get manslaughter.
I think it's called an HN. That's a hastening nature.
Ah,
it's just like you're
I like that.
just cutting corners on nature herself.
That's right.
Tell me about all these rocks.
Yeah.
And really, he's thinking, must I? Must I talk and walk?
First off, is there ever been another human being that held a microphone up to you and said, tell me about your rock collection?
He thought it was a gun.
This is aggregate, people. This is the stuff that they put that turns cement into concrete.
There's no way
nothing
that guy
about
is
it.
still alive,
No.
by the way.
No.
Because this is, 5-6 years old?
No. Yes. He is. Oh, no. This is many years old.
Yeah.
I wonder what
And
happened to his rocks.
There's no
As my
possible
dad
way.
would say, that guy's got one foot in the grave and the other on a banana peel.
Not funny. It's funny because your dad said it. All right. Should we have some, should we do some Huell's Jewels here? Let's see what we got here. All right. This is
Well, hello, everybody. I'm Huell Hauser. It's a beautiful morning in Southern California. Specifically, we're in Pasadena. More specifically than that, we are in Old Pasadena. And I keep wanting to say Old Town Pasadena, but really it's Old Pasadena. Here to give us a tour. Introduce yourself to everybody, Robert.
Hello, my name is Robert Montano, and I work for the city's redevelopment agency.
Okay, now we are standing right in the heart of Old Pasadena. Now, for those people who don't know about Old Pasadena, explain what Old Pasadena is. We'll start off with what Old Pasadena was.
Sure.
You have to let him. You have to let him, Huell.
Also, I've done that move, too. When some guy's got a last name like Montano or something, but you don't know if it's Montagna or something, go, introduce yourself to the people there, Rob.
Uh-huh. And apparently this is the Old Pasadena drinking game, if you've never played it before.
It does sound like it.
Every time Huell says Old Pasadena, you hit one. Well, my favorite one is, the actress Chloe Sevigny?
Mm-hmm.
I know her brother, Pete Sevigny.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's what happens.
She stars in Quirkities.
Huell's in Old Town Pasadena. I wonder if we'll see where I used to work. I used to work at a gym called
Pasadena.
Bodies in Motion out there. Yeah, next clip, Huell is going to marvel at buildings. And look out, because when Huell goes into marvel mode, it's a treat.
Okay, now before we get to Paseo, Colorado, there's an old post office building over there.
It's an old post office.
Wow.
There's the old
You rarely
City
see
Hall
old post offices. They're always spanking new.
Here's one of the new buildings here, and then right down here, Robert, this looks like kind of lofts, apartments.
Must be great to be Huell.
Series of concrete cubes, and but they're hollow, and there seems to be a rectangular opening at the bottom that I would assume would allow human access.
Yeah, Huell, that's called a lobby. People go into the lobby and they take something called an elevator up to their unit.
It is amazing because to drive by, you would not think that there would be a way for a person to go inside one of these large cubes that you call a building.
Yeah, it's pretty common stuff.
It is amazing. One thing I've learned over the years is that you can get inside of a lot of things that people normally wouldn't think you could.
Well, let's just kind of focus on
Dan Blocker comes to mind.
Not a big fan of the Ponderosa there.
He was Haas, which is a noise that he made when he felt a sudden weight come on him from the rear. And, and a rag soaked in chloroform slid over his... Let's talk more about the post office.
Let's focus on the post office. Huell, it must be great because Huell can just go... There's Dan Blocker standing in front of a post office. Huell...
Why is Huell Hauser reading me?
Huell must have just said to his cameraman, like, come on, Louie, let's go. And then Louie must have went like, well, what are we shooting today? And then Huell just laughed. Like, who gives a fuck?
It is a weird, it's like found video. It's just like, we're going to make a show right here. This is a tree and a corner. Two streets come together, one going north-south, one going east-west.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ!
He's really, he's kind of like a clown at a kid's party who blows up a bunch of long balloons, moves his hands, bends around a bunch of stuff, and then they all just fall to the ground. Like there's nothing there.
Or it's usually you start with a long balloon and end up with basically dick and balls. This is an emu. That's a dick and balls.
He's out. Huell is out at night, by the way, in the Pasadena nightlife. We'll play that clip.
Uh-oh. That's Huell.
This place is bustling at night and in the afternoons. We're kind of here early in the morning.
Goodness, yeah.
But this is just wall-to-wall people on the weekends and at night.
Yeah, generally it's quite a scene. It's quite a scene during the holidays, weekends, special events. It's quite an event.
Well, it's nice at night, but I kind of like it quiet in the morning.
It makes it a lot
too.
easier, doesn't it?
And he has that constant smile where and you know the type of guy, like, and it's bustling at night. And then the guy's going, yeah, there's a lot of people at night. And he's still smiling. And it's the kind of guy, I don't know if Huell will do this, but then you'll hear like, cut, and then the smile will stay, but it'll go, you took a long time to answer that. What, are you fucking with me? What, are you trying to make me look like an asshole? You ever been hung on a hook? No, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to ask you about the nightlife again. Do me a favor. Keep fucking with me, Robert.
The thing I love about Huell is when he talks to the people and they are bored out of their fucking tree about whatever.
Goodness.
Because you would think, do you want to be on TV?
Right.
Yeah. You want to be interviewed?
Right.
Yeah. And then it's
Right.
like, so that cloud, is that cloud always here? No.
They move around, Huell.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
you see all sorts of clouds.
Well, as a park ranger, yeah, if you look up, you'll see clouds.
And the guy's just thinking, right now, within 20 feet, there are 11 different ways to kill myself.
Yeah, it's always great. I love the family business guy because he'll talk to the guy who's been making pita bread, and his grandfather and his grandfather's grandfather came over from Armenia, and they made pita bread, and he just, so this is where it's shipped. Yeah, Huell, that's where it's shipped. So that's why they call it shipping. Yeah, that's where the trucks back up. So these are raised up, so the height of the truck matches the height of the pita bread when it comes. Right, Huell, we thought of that.
He's going to be like Barney Fife. Eventually, by just the sheer volume of his trips, he's going to stumble onto something big. Now, what exactly comes in these crates? Girls, stupid girls from Russia. They come in thinking they're going to be nannies and noodles, and they're basically horse. So this is there's a lot of human trafficking.
Yes.
Human trafficking, really?
You'd think at some point he'd blow the lid off of something. Like he covers enough ground and enough parts of like the San Fernando Valley where you think he'd run into something.
A dead body, at least at that guy who had the rocks. But you'd think there'd be bodies.
Yeah,
there.
He would be so out of it, though. He wouldn't. So these are shipping crates, but you bring in people illegally for sexual purpose.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Now, what is this over here? That's a Razzles vending machine for Razzles. Do they still make Razzles?
Yes. If he was in Pulp Fiction and went into that pawn shop, he'd be like, so they call you the Gimp.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Now, that's not a very breathable leather suit. Could you show me? I saw an Evel Knievel yo-yo in the display case. Could you show me that?
Can we go back upstairs? Yeah, we have Huell at the pita shop. Oh.
Eric, explain to us exactly, what is this called? It looks like just a big mixer to me.
That's exactly what it is. It is a big mixer. You can mix about 1,000 pounds of dough in there.
Okay, so this is where it all starts. Have you ever seen anything like this on this scale before, Lisa?
No, never.
This is even bigger than what you do in your kitchen.
That's why I brought you here.
Yeah. All right, now what are we talking about in here? Basic ingredients.
Basic ingredients: flour, water, sugar, salt, yeast.
So
that's it.
Pretty basic stuff.
There's nothing complicated about it.
We're here in Ukaipa. It's funny, sometimes I close my eyes and I pretend I'm the king of a land where babies are money.
By the way, the chick who's wearing the hairnet with the huge tuft of hair hanging out in front of the hairnet kind of flies in the face of the purpose of the hairnet.
Whole concept of a hairnet right out of the window.
Yeah, listen, Elvis, go ahead and tuck that shit in. It's called a hairnet because it's trying to prevent clumps of your hair from falling off the front of your head.
Now, does he at home, when he's home alone, is he in the morning putting toothbrush on the tooth? Oh my God! Every time they make the toothpaste hole the same width as the toothbrush. Is that a coincidence? Or is it just like, I don't have the guts to kill myself today, so I'm just going to put on my waffle stompers and go to a cardboard box factory.
Huell is going to go on a quick tour of some historic alleys in Old Town Pasadena. By the way, if you didn't think this could heat up anymore, look out.
You know what I think I could do if I was man enough? I could stuff my mouth with shotgun shells and duct tape it shut, then set myself on fire, and when the heat got to my head, fucking blew it.
I think we're all going to want to do that after we watch
That's
Huell.
how I want to go out, and I want to do it at the top of the Ferris wheel at the Santa Monica Promenade. And you're going to do it.
Okay, we're starting our tour, and we're leaving Colorado Boulevard and heading into an alley because alleys are an important part of what's happening in Old Pasadena as
They're
well.
a very big part of Old Pasadena. They're the original service alleys to all of the buildings
You got
that would
that
have
right.
needed some access from the rear of
That's right.
Alleys are an important part of the human system of lovemaking. The way a peacock will fan out its tail, or a cockatiel will sing a song, or baboons their asses will swell up.
They'll present.
These are called presenting. Humans present by taking a chloroform-soaked rag and hiding in an alley behind a pool hall or sports bar.
I did not know that, Huell.
Yes.
I did not know that ritual.
That's how we meet our mates, or as I call them, weekend playmates. Or Monday shovelers. I also call them Monday shovelers.
I mean, you're shoveling on Monday, Huell?
Sometimes. That's why I like it when people have a collection of rocks, because I know there's not a lot of rocks in the nearby soil. It's a quick dig.
Ah, I see, yeah.
Always thinking.
Yeah, nothing worse than when that bedrock is close to the top and you really got to get out that pickaxe.
You like roller coasters, motherfucker?
We've tried to get Huell in here. Huell...
I wonder why you won't come in.
People are always texting me like I'm done. My friend, all my Lucha Vavoom friends, I'm in a restaurant downtown in Huell House. There's like 3 tables over. Don't tell them you know me.
Huell, I don't know. I'm guessing that Huell has been able, for a guy his size, has been able to slide under the radar of most people for many years. But
he's a big guy. He's a huge guy.
Yes, an ex-Marine. Yeah. And when I saw that Baghdad Cafe thing, I just said, "This is." It may be California gold. It's comedy gold to me. If you're going to talk to old guys about rocks and go to post offices that are closed, or go take a tour of alleys at Old Town Pasadena.